Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Talking Gear. But before we get into it, if you haven't already and you like our content, make sure you subscribe on whatever podcast platform you listen on and check out our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The links are in the show notes. Okay, so in this episode, we're looking at one of the most important things that you can invest in. It's your boots. I'm going to tell you about what I wear and why I rate them so damn highly. What are they? They're the Merrell Moab Adventure 3 mids. So I've been hiking for about 25 years and I've used a vast array of shoes during that time. One thing that is for certain for me is I've always found that I come back to a pair of Merrells. Now, you may be listening and thinking, well, but they're not a hunting brand. And you're right. But this is their bread and butter product because they are a hiking boot company. Now, I actually own a few pairs of Merrells. And the reason being is that I have a dedicated hunting pair and a hiking pair. So the reason for this is the fact that my normal hiking pair has a soft Gore-Tex fabric on the toe. Now that's great if you're hiking on trails, but if you want a boot that's a little bit tougher for when you're going a bit more off-road and hitting those blackberry patches, going through more water and through the thick Australian bush, I always go to the adventure model. It's made of nubuck leather on the outer shell. That gives me peace of mind because I can't tell you how many times I've nearly stepped on snakes when I've been out and about. It does have an upper mesh, but that doesn't really bother me too much because in my opinion, the leather shell's more important and I wear gaiters anyway. The other thing I really like about it is their comfort and durability of this boot. I guess some of the reasons for this is that it has a breathable mesh lining. They call it a Fit.Eco blended EVA contoured footbed with organic odor control. Look, I don't really smell my boots at the end of the day, so I can't tell you if this works or not. But they also the EVA midsole. That's for stability and comfort. And it does provide that. I've been on all-day hikes for multiple days and no issues whatsoever. The Moab Adventure lace is fitted in that traditional style system and it hooks up through the extensions in the tongue and it gives you that extra ankle support. Lacing up is quick and easy, providing you all-day comfort through the loops and the tightening system that they run. They are waterproof, and I've tested this out many times. The most recent was down in the snowy mountains, and that was during probably a -2 degree weather morning, and that's Celsius. Now, the last thing you want in that kind of weather is getting that icy, chilled water on your feet. So I did walk through a stream, and it probably came up to midway on my calf, and no water got in. Yes, I also was wearing gaiters. Traction wise, all right, this is really important because you don't want to be slipping around when you're out there in the bush. They've got really great grip on the bottom and they call this their Vibram outsole. I have had a slip here and there, but generally that's like a really mossy log and I don't think there's any boots out there that would be able to sort of withstand that. Overall, I've found that these boots, when going up steep terrain, doesn't matter what the weather is, what the temperature, they are fantastic and handle it really well. So durability is something that I really look for in a boot because I want something that's going to last and I don't have to break in all the time. These things, I give them an A+. They're all leather and they're such a tough boot. The other thing I really like about these things is the weight. They come in at a little over 800 grams, 822 if you want to be precise. Walking around in these boots with that weight is such a pleasure. They do cater for a vast array of sizes for individuals who wear anywhere from a US size 7 all the way up to a 16. The colours are very limited. They've only got 2 different options, one being sort of a dark brown tan and the other being a black. Overall, when you're out and about, your feet are so important. If you're clocking up Ks in the bush, you really want something that is comfortable and you're not going to regret wearing those at the end of the day when you've done all that trekking. The other thing I really like is their price point. Their recommended retail price is $289. They're generally always on special or something's going on to save you a little bit of money, and I can pick them up for under $200 most of the year. Super great value, really worthy investment in my experience. All right, guys, if you haven't checked them out, there's a link in our show notes. Do it. You won't regret it. Bye for now. If you have a topic, guest, question, or any gear that you want to hear about on the podcast, shoot us an email, australianhuntingandbeyond@gmail.com. Alternatively, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All the links are in the show notes. If you haven't already, Make sure you give us a review and subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.